As of this morning, 4 million women in this state woke up with fewer reproductive freedoms than they had last night.
We do know that the heart begins beating between 18 to 21 days after conception, and then it's detectable by ultrasound right around 6 weeks. And so that's why it's the heartbeat protection law.
Florida's Heartbeat Protection Act is now law, officially taking effect on Wednesday. It drew praise from pro-life advocates. The Biden administration using the moment to further their presidential campaign with Vice President Kamala Harris in Florida that same day.
Across our nation, we witness a full-on assault, state by state, on reproductive freedom. And understand who is to blame. Former President Donald Trump did this.
The Heartbeat Protection Law makes Florida one of the most life-affirming states in the union. It bans abortion after 6 weeks, with exceptions if the life of the mother is at risk. Victims of rape, incest, or human trafficking can still get an abortion up to 15 weeks if the woman provides a police report, medical record, or restraining order. The law bans the prescription of both physical and chemical abortions by telehealth. Medication for abortions must be dispensed by a physician and not through the mail. Jason Weida, Secretary of Florida's Agency for Healthcare Administration, joins us now to talk about the new heartbeat law. Jason, thank you for joining us. Before we talk about the heartbeat law, let's go into what's going on with this ballot initiative. Abortion is on the ballot in November, and it's deceptively worded. Historically, abortion support has done well when put into a vote in other states. What can you tell us about your efforts to counter that pro-abortion initiative?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. The abortion ballot initiative is confusing and misleading. It's written in a way to make it sound pro-life, when in fact, it's not. What it would provide for is abortions up until the moment of birth. It would provide for abortions on demand, and that is too extreme for Florida. The second point I want to make about the ballot initiative is that it would infringe on parental rights. Governor DeSantis has led the charge to make sure that parents have a say in upbringing their children. And what this ballot initiative would do would wipe out the parental consent laws that are on the books right now. And third, I think that we're in a really good position in Florida to see this ballot initiative defeated. Other states may not have been as successful, but Florida has a significant advantage with Governor DeSantis's leadership, bringing over Republican voters in the state. So we're very optimistic about November.
Well, you've got a new fact sheet that you've put out. I think it's myth versus fact. Talk to us about what's on there and how you're using that to counter the aggressive pro-abortion lobbying efforts.
Well, we felt like this myth versus fact sheet was necessary because of the misleading statements and outright lies that you see the left promoting about abortion, and also the mainstream media continuing to promote this as part of its narrative. They say that women won't be able to access health care. That's a lie. Florida is committed to supporting life, is comprehensively pro-life, and will provide resources not only to pregnant mothers, not only to support them with their unborn children, but also children, adolescents, and into adulthood. You also hear people talking about women being jailed. That's a lie. Nothing in the Heartbeat Protection Act provides for any criminal charges against women going through these circumstances. You also hear outright lies regarding women not knowing that they're pregnant. That's not true. Pregnancy tests have advanced quite a bit over the years, and there's more than enough time for women to find out whether they're pregnant or not within that period of time. So we felt it was very important to correct some of these lies that are being promoted throughout the mainstream media, to make sure that the public got the truth about what this act does and how it protects women, the lives of women and their life in these life-threatening circumstances, and also unborn children.
So do you actually think that you'll be able to beat this and set a new precedent for those who have lost their initiatives around the country over the last 2 years?
Well, we're optimistic, as I said, and take Ohio for example. The Ohio initiative passed by, I think it was about 57%. Now the laws in Florida are a little bit different. In order for this ballot initiative to succeed in Florida, the pro-abortion left would need to get 60% of the vote. So if that ballot initiative had taken place in Florida, they would have lost. And also, there's a significant difference between the electorate in Ohio and in Florida. I think Ohio has about a 4 to 6 point Republican advantage. Now, in Florida, we're anticipating about a 10-point Republican advantage in Florida. So we think that Florida is well positioned to defeat this ballot initiative come November.
Well, let's talk about this heartbeat law that came into effect on May 1st. This law also increases funding for pregnancy centers from roughly $4 million up to $25 million. How do CPCs have access to that money, and what will it do?
Well, there's a number of agencies that are involved in this process. So I run the Agency for Healthcare Administration. I work very closely with my peers in the Department of Health and other agencies, and we're all going to have a role to play in making sure that these funds are distributed to the centers to make sure that they're providing care and resources to pregnant women. But there's a number of resources available to women. It's not just the Heartbeat Protection Act, although that's an important piece. There's also resources available through the Department of Health. Surgeon General Joe Ladapo is in charge of that department, does a great job over there. He's going to be part of this solution. Also, the First Lady's initiative in Hope, Florida, which is a really important part of what the state is doing. And that, too, will provide resources to women who are facing this situation. So we take, as I said, a comprehensive approach to protecting life, and we are comprehensively pro-life. And I think that you see that in all the measures and initiatives that we've done, from the Heartbeat Protection Act to the resources available at ACA and the Department of Health, and the resources available in Hope, Florida.
Well, there's also a new part of that law, which is banning the most common form of abortion, the abortion pill. Abortion pill prescriptions brought through the mail in Florida are not illegal anymore. How are you regulating out-of-state prescriptions coming in through the mail?
So we're taking a very close look at that. It's something that the Biden administration has been really promoting. And we're coming down hard on pharmacies and other folks that are going to make this available contrary to the law. We expect our providers in this state to comply with the law, and we're going to be rigorously enforcing that.
Well, Jason, thank you so much. We'll be praying for your efforts in November and for the success of this 6-week ban.
Great. Thank you very much for having me.